Hi, I'm Luki, career coach from Focus Inspired. Today's video, we'll be sharing 5 of the most common questions to improve your networking skills. How can I improve my networking skills and chances to get a referral? So first, let's start off with your perspective and mindset for networking, how you're connecting with people. And it might seem counterintuitive, but my perspective is to network not to get a job. Instead, be curious, interested, and look to add value. Then the opportunities tend to come to you. And if you think of a successful job search as a professional marriage, then you can see why it's more beneficial to look for a long-lasting relationship than a one-night stand. That points to who you should be connecting with. Most job searchers start with recruiters, who are great to know, but if you think about the people you're marrying, they're really just the matchmakers. So consider connecting with the people whose job that you want and the people in the group. You can think of interviewing as a series of dates for them to get to know you and for you to get to know them as well. And you also might have missed that networking is actually a form of informal interviewing. So when you build a meaningful connection, they get to learn more about you and you get to learn more about them. So network not to get a job. Instead, be curious, interested, and look to add value. And spend time connecting with people whose job you want and in the groups you want to join, not just recruiters. How do I connect with someone on LinkedIn? Well, before you connect, you want to do some research on why you're curious and interested to connect with them, and perhaps even how you could add value to them. So if you connect with them based on your interest in them as a person versus just as their role at their job, then the outcomes will be much better. You look for commonalities. Maybe they went to the same school, they volunteer, they're doing a certification that you're interested in, or they have a career path that you want to follow, or any area of curiosity or interest. Then you send a personalized message with your connection request. Perhaps something like, "Hi Luki, how are you doing? I'm a student at U of T and saw you graduated there. You also went to consulting and teaching, and those are areas that I'm curious about, and would appreciate if you could share some questions or experience that you had." And then you send. Then have zero expectations that they respond. If they do accept, make sure you send a message back to thank them and continue the conversation. How do I continue a conversation on LinkedIn? Well, presumably you've been connecting with a bunch of people of interest, and some of them turned into conversations, and you want to continue to make them a little bit more meaningful. So you want to treat the conversation as if you were in person, right? But only now you have some extra time to think and respond. How about asking them questions on elaborating on their career path and whatever's listed on their profile? Maybe some details on what they specifically did for a project or something that's listed. Maybe asking them more about experience or advice for a certification they completed, or any advice that they might have for you in your particular situation. What are you curious about or interested to connect with them in the first place? What areas would you like to add value to them? A few useful phrases that I found are, "And how about you?" That's obviously if they ask a question. And "That's interesting, tell me more." So ask them a little bit more information about what they just shared. Share some context and why you're curious about something, and then you want to continue based on your curiosity. Every week, take some time to reflect on your conversations, be it by text or in person, and ask yourself what you did well and what you could do better, and plan to do both in the future. How do I add value when networking? So you've been able to connect with folks and continue the conversations, and now you're looking to add some value. So you've already been doing so because you're allowing them to share their experience and advice, which makes them feel good about helping you. Next, you want to consider experience. So what experience have you had or skills do you have that you could help them? Could you code a website for their community organization? Build a web app to help scheduling or announcements? Do you have a connection? Do you know a person that would be helpful for them? Does your cousin work at the city office that can help them with a permit? Next is a resource. Did you find a blog post, a YouTube video, a podcast, or an app, or something that you feel would be helpful for them? And the last is time. At the very least, take an hour, half a day, a weekend to research any of the above for something that could help with them. A different way to approach it would be to think of something that helped you recently. And what could you share with someone? And oftentimes it takes practice and effort, because oftentimes that creativity of adding value doesn't come right away. But if you pay attention to the conversation, over time, you'll get better and better at adding value. How do I ask for a referral when networking? While your approach to networking should be to be curious, interested, and look to add value, there still might be a point when asking for a referral might be appropriate. So note that not all referrals are created equal. On one side, there's a recommendation where the person says something like, "You need to take a look at Luki. He's been connecting with me for the past few weeks and he's already added a ton of value to me. I think he'd be a great asset to your team." And on the other side, there's, "Hey, this person reached out and I said that I'd refer him. Seems okay, but I don't know much about him. Feel free to take a look." So if you spent time in the conversation making it about them and providing value, they are much more likely to provide you with a referral. Then just ask, "Hi Luki, would you be open to recommending me for a future dev role in your company?" If they say yes, that puts you ahead of many other candidates in the pipeline. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know if you have any questions or what you're struggling with in your job search. Subscribe for more tips on jobs, careers, and life.
you.